Hi friends, host Eric here, host Talking with Famous People, and today I would like to address the subject of places where Taylor and I disagree, aspects of Eric that Taylor doesn't like, and ways to bridge any possible divides. So, where we disagree often has to do with what he would deem wishy-washiness, or a refusal to follow through on what I say I'm going to do, swayability towards the other side, or transitioning positions, or whatever. And I want to explain why I'm so like that, and acknowledge that it surely is frustrating for other people, and reasonably understandably so. The reason I'm like that is because I am used to thinking about arguments in terms of rounds. That one time I argue one side, the next round I might argue the opposite side just as passionately. It's standard operating procedure then to start to view arguments that are made as not extending beyond the scope of that round. So it's tricky for me, something I generally do a good job of, to make sure that my argumentation is consistent across rounds. It's important that I do so because life is not like debate competition. What you say does count across rounds. However, there's one area in particular where I am very, very bad at that, and that's this particular area, namely constraining individuals in expressing themselves in some way. I tend to think that discourse solves all, and so there's a kind of discourse that is poison, and it's the kind where somebody leaves fundamentally dishonest comments in order to provoke a reaction. That is to say, they present their position as something that's not actually their position, that's not actually what they're trying to argue. They only want to do bad and offensive argumentation to provoke a response. Now, that is poison to discourse because it prevents actual discourse from occurring. Nobody can learn anything if you're always faking your wrongnesses. So, for somebody to go out of their way to do that, and then not be responsive when you say, like, okay, well, here's where you're wrong, and then to shift ground and try something else just to play with you like that, well, that's dishonest, it's disruptive to discourse, and it undermines it, and it's not protected in any sense of the word because it's dishonest. Again, it's a lie. Lies aren't allowed. Lies aren't protected. There's no reason ever to protect dishonesty. Ever. It's not protected speech, it's not free expression, it's dishonesty. Now, that's what I distinguish between Courtney and, say, Demon Windu. Demon Windu is fundamentally dishonest and knows it. Courtney is fundamentally dishonest, and I don't think she does know it. So that causes me to be able to detach from her entirely and make the focus about the issue of discourse, not about the issue of Courtney. So for me, the issue then is when and where and under what circumstances is discourse so poisonous that it justifies eliminating its further existence or curtailing it in some fashion. Demon Windu, paper tiger variety, is definitely worth curtailing. I love when they put a super long time into putting in one of those trolley comments, big ass comment, and I just remove it, waste all their time. That's fun. And that's appropriate consequence for trolls. But Courtney's not a troll. I don't know. It's not about her. That's the point. It's about the fact that whatever the cause of her dishonesty, she's not quite fully aware of it, and thus that discourse is legitimately wrong rather than lying. Now, that point could be in dispute. If you want to dispute that point and win on that point, fine. But don't think that this is about I'm soft on Courtney and Taylor's hard on Courtney. Don't think this is about I can't be trusted to stick with a decision and Taylor can and he gets frustrated with my inconsistency. It's not about any of those things. When pressured to give a conclusion on a given point, I will state that conclusion, and often I will have a following problem. I will mistakenly and wrongly say I will do rather than I have concluded, which is always true for now. And that's something I'm going to work on. Obviously, the other issue I want to talk about here is this is it doesn't matter that the issues being debated out here are moot. Most of the time, most of what is debated in any context is moot in some sense of the word. One of Taylor's main points is that this is moot because they have no right to what they're claiming, and thus, why should we afford them any further conversation about it? My point is, we're not talking about them. We're talking about when and where discourse is the answer to all of mankind's problems, and when and where it's the exception that needs to be curtailed. I do expect, and I think everybody affiliated with the channel, including Taylor, expects this channel to reflect some core values. And I think personally that it's reasonable for people to expect decisions that are made to be in accordance with the values that are stated. Now, unfortunately, that means I put Taylor in kind of a bind where he had both a self-imposed and stated job of being the gatekeeper and making sure that, I mean, it wasn't really explicitly stated, but it sort of played out that way. Making sure that the barbarians don't come storming the gates, and making sure that, if I'm feeling effy soft, effy moist, maybe he can be the bad guy sometimes. That was an unfair burden to put on him, really. And the other aspect of that is he's been tasked with being quote-unquote reasonable and or reflecting the discursive values of the community as a whole. But it's really hard to say, you're the sheriff, kick ass and take names, and behave in a non-sheriff-like, non-ass-kicking, non-name-taking way concurrently, and understandably, it caused a little bit of problems. So anyway, that's it for this, and thanks for watching Talking with Fence People. It's all good, dogs.